But do give me a primer on what should someone do if they are being stop lost. They've got 3 months left. They're going to ship them back to Iraq, and they are sure that they are not going to go back.
Okay.
What should they do?
We get calls like this all the time.
Yeah.
First of all, call the GI Rights Hotline. Check out any options you may have in the United States, because this decision to come to Canada is a big decision. You may never be able to come back to the United States without risking arrest, ever. So think carefully about it. Talk to the people you love and get their opinion of it. I realize that sometimes you might want to talk to your parents because they're going to be against it and all that sort of thing. But talk to the people that you trust and get their view of it. Don't just, do it because you're sort of panicky and so on. And once you've done that kind of thing, get back, if you decided you're still interested in Canada, get back in touch with me. And we'll talk about, the border and what you can expect to find in Canada and that sort of thing. So that's what I do. And then some of them will call back where they say, well, I've looked into this already and I've spoken to the GI Rights Hotline, and they just tell me to go back to my base and turn myself in, and which they often do. And I can't do that because I know my sergeant will kill me and stuff. All this. They may be wrong about that. Their sergeant might not really harm them very much, but this is their opinion, and they're the ones that have to make the decision, not me. So I'm not going to tell them, oh, your sergeant will hurt you. They know the sergeant, I don't. And what do you have to do at the border? Well, you've got to have a birth certificate. If you have a passport, that's wonderful. Most Americans do not. It's not worth waiting around applying for a passport and waiting for it. If you have a birth certificate and picture ID, government-issued picture ID, probably not your military ID anymore, although they were using that for a long time, but some of the Canadian border people are trying to stop people who want to make refugee claims from coming in. So if you've got a driver's license or some other picture ID from a government agency, that's fine. If you have to get it renewed, maybe if you can do that quickly, do it. And then if you're coming towards Toronto, please give us as much notice as possible so that we can arrange housing and stuff like that. And when you get to Toronto, when you get to the border, you're coming as a visitor, because you have not decided yet whether you're going to make a refugee claim or whether you're going to say, you know what, I've come here, I've looked around, I don't like it. Some people do, and come and see what you think of it. Don't just come, get away and then you jump into the frying pan into the fire type thing, So when you come to Canada, we'll help you get some legal advice on what this refugee stuff is all about, and you can decide then if you want to go ahead with it or whatever you want to do. So when you're saying you're coming as a visitor, you are not lying, although you may have some things in the back of your mind. You haven't decided about them yet, so you're a visitor. And when you get here, we will put you in some housing, free housing. Don't worry about paying for it unless you got a lot of money. You can stay in a motel if you want. But we have an arrangement with some individuals and and with the Quakers, where the Quakers have some sort of dormitory type housing. That we can put you in for a while until we find something a bit more permanent. You can expect to meet a lot of other guys like yourself and women like yourself, and they can tell you I'm giving you, the official campaign position. They can tell you the real lowdown from their position, and that's fine. And what service are you in? Oh, I'm in the Marines. Well, we got Marines up here. They'll be glad to talk to you. If you want to call one right now, I'll give you his phone number. You can call him and ask him what he thinks, And so so that's what I tell them, and I tell them we cannot guarantee that you will be allowed to stay in Canada permanently. And now I would have to add, we have had one guy deported. He did spend about 3 years here, so he got 3 years here, which could be good for you. You might be able to get a discharge if you're gone for a certain length of time. I don't know. And he lived freely, and he did what he wanted, and he fathered a child and so on. So that's to the good, but he did get deported. Most of them, that's the first deportation we've had in 4.5 years, and we're working very hard to make, to make this a permanent situation for the War Resistors, but no guarantees yet. You'll find people welcome you. They always ask, do I have to keep quiet about what I am? I say, absolutely not. Canadians are very happy to welcome you. You're going to be shocked at how welcoming they are when you say you're a war resistor. Give that man a beer, that kind of thing.